Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you about the results of my May low spend month. So far this year I've updated you every month on what I've been spending, what I've resisted spending my money on even though I wanted it at that moment in time, and telling you how I'm planning to improve things and change things in the following month. So we've come to the beginning of June now. Can't believe we're halfway through the year, nearly halfway through the year. This last 5 months seems to have whizzed past. So how's my spending been? Well, as a lot of my school reports used to say, could do better. Average, but could do better. And I think that's probably, the way it's going at the moment. I think I've done better than April, so I'm very pleased with that. And I have been spending money. Quite a bit of it was on stuff for my allotment, which is allowable expenses. There's nothing that's sort of frivolous for it. It's all functional things that are being used. And I've started harvesting some fruit. I've got my first strawberries from my allotment and some rhubarb, which is lovely. I'm going to make a nice crumble probably with that. The weather's gone a little bit cooler, so the thought of a nice crumble for pudding, lovely, lovely, lovely. Don't want it so much when it's hot and sunny. Anyway, let's make a start before I ramble on anymore. So what did I want to spend in May but didn't? Have a look at the little green book of evidence, which a puppy chewed, which is why it's a bit raggedy. So the first thing that I wanted but didn't spend my money on in May was a 3-in-1 sandwich toaster, waffle and grill machine. Now I'd had a toasted cheese and tomato sandwich when I was on a pet sit, and I'd forgotten how yummy they were. So that's what triggered it in my brain. Oh, I need a sandwich toaster. And if it can make other things like grilling and stuff, so much the better. So I saved myself £19.99 by not buying that. A tablecloth for £3.99. Now my tablecloth, you're sitting on the table on the tripod, and my tablecloth is an absolute disgrace. I'll insert a photo. So I do need a new tablecloth, but the one I've got is still covering the table, so I don't know, can't really justify it at the moment. Food storage boxes, £6.99 I've saved there. These were going to be to save food that I'd batch cooked, so I could have it all, on top of each other in the fridge, and I could just draw out what I wanted to eat. But I didn't buy those because I've got storage tubs. I could use jars that I've washed out and kept that have had bought products in them before and just add my own things. So I don't really need them. I just need to be a bit more creative with what I store my produce in. A walking treadmill, one of these under the desk treadmills that you can have so you can get your steps in. Now the one I was looking at was £200 and I didn't buy it because, one, I can walk outside, not so easy in the winter when it's freezing cold and chucking it down with rain. But at the moment, the weather's reasonable. I've got coats, I've got hoodies. I don't need to walk inside, and it's just convenient, but kind of lazy, isn't it, really? But I understand why people have them. I think they're great if you are at a desk job and, sitting all day for 8 hours apart from loo breaks and getting up and having something to eat. It's not good for your body. So if you can walk while you're working, so much the better. But my job isn't desk bound, so I don't really need it. Kitchen scales, £19.99. Didn't buy those. I've got a little flat scale at the moment that I can use. The only issue is that if you put anything reasonably big on it, like a bowl or a large dinner plate, something like that, you can't actually see the weight because it's not big enough to show you the weight. So I find that a little bit irritating, but it's not the end of the world, is it? I'm not gonna I'm not going to die from not weighing everything. So save myself £19.99 on that. Here we go again with tablecloth. It was obviously still on my mind that the one that's all raggedy was annoying me. But again, I didn't buy this one. This one was £12.99, so a lot more expensive than the one I'd wanted before. A dress for £14.99. I mean, that's a pretty reasonable price for a brand new dress, isn't it? But luckily, or not, I don't know, depends on your point of view, it didn't fit me. So I had to take it back and get a refund. It looked really nice though, so it was very annoying. And they didn't have any other sizes. So I got a refund of £14.99 and saved myself that money. Another thing that was triggered by being on a pet sit and using somebody else's equipment in their house was a George Foreman grill, which is supposed to be healthier because, you know, the fat drains off into I don't know what it is, like a little tray underneath. And the one I was looking at was £34.99. I have an air fryer, does the same job basically. A world of pain to clean out. I hate cleaning my air fryer. It's the worst thing about it. But the fact that I've got it means that I'm going to use it and I'm not going to buy a George Foreman grill for £34.99. A water bottle, because I've only got 5, I think. Is that enough? Can one person live with just 5? Don't know. Didn't buy that. That's £4.99. And colouring pens, because obviously I'm a world famous artist. I need, you know, resources to do my creative work. But I don't, because I've got colouring pens and I've got colouring pencils and I've got paint. No reason and no justification to buying in any new stuff. So that was £3.99 I saved. So the total of all the things that I thought, oh, I'd like that, I need that, I want that, was £322.91 this month, which is not bad, is it? I mean, considering that the walking treadmill was £122.91 was for the other things. So I'm quite pleased with that. I'm obviously looking online less. I'm obviously less attracted to buying things. So that's all great progress and I'm really pleased with that. So in April, the things that I wanted but didn't buy added up to a value of £499.95. And this month of May, £322.91. So that's a big difference. That's, what is that, £160 less of things that I wanted but didn't buy. So I call that a win. That's good, that's progress, and I'm happy with that. So what did I have to buy? I had to renew my prescriptions prepayment certificate. I don't know about other countries, but in the UK, if you have a lot of prescriptions, you can buy an annual or 6 monthly or 3 monthly certificate in advance. That then means that your prescriptions are free. I have quite a few prescriptions each month, everything from sleeping tablets, because I'm still struggling with some PTSD from a toxic relationship, hay fever tablets, antidepressants, HRT, what else do I take? Oh yes, my calcium and vitamin D for my osteoporosis. So I have quite a lot of prescriptions every month. So it makes sense for me to buy an annual prepayment certificate. So when I go and collect my prescriptions, I just tick the box to say I've got a prepayment certificate. It's all checked in the background. If you've not renewed it, they come down on you like a ton of bricks and they send you a bill for all the prescriptions that you've had in that time frame and you have to pay it. So I've learnt my lesson on that one because I did forget once thinking I had renewed it and I hadn't. So I paid £114.50 for my prepayment certificate. Now next year when I turn 60, my prescriptions become free. So I won't have that expense, which is wonderful. Looking forward to that. All my prescriptions will be free and that will cut that out of my budget. I bought a new summer duvet for £12. It's a really cheap one, seems to be doing the job. it got a bit warm, so I changed my winter duvet over for the summer duvet I had, and the summer duvet smelled musty and fusty and quite horrible. It was a feather one, so I can't put it in a washing machine because it will just clump into a matted ball and be useless. So I thought, right, bite the bullet, girl, and buy a new one. So I just bought a cheap one. It's fine. It does the job. And that's £12. I bought some garden compost for £17.55. I bought some plug plants for £15.97 because the ones that I'd grown from seed in my greenhouse got frazzled because I hadn't opened the window when I should, and I hadn't, well, I'd underestimated how much the sun would affect the plants through the glass, and basically they just burnt, shriveled up and died. And it was a bit too late in the season to start from seed again, so I had to buy some plug plants. I bought facial serum for £2.69. I'd run out. I replaced it, that's fine. I bought allotment netting for my fruit to cover my raspberries, and that with some clips to hold the netting on was £4.47. I had to buy some more netting for £1.49 because I hadn't got enough the first time. It's very hard to estimate how much you need, but you know, I needed more, so I bought that. I bought some French bean plants because the ones I'd sown frazzled in the sun. They were £2.99. I bought 3 books from a charity shop for £1. Bargain in my view. Did I need them? No. Will I read them? Yes. In the same vein, 3 more books from a charity shop for £2. So I've got no excuse for buying any more books. I've got books on my shelves, as you can see behind me, that are there to be read. I bought 2 pairs of summer pyjamas because the ones I got were raggy, to say the least. And even though I live on my own and nobody sees my pyjamas, you know, I've got some dignity. I don't want to be completely scruffy. So they were £10 per pair, £20 altogether. I had my hair cut for £24. Now this is horrible. Every time I go and get my hair cut, it's gone up £1. So I got it cut in February and it was £23. I went in May to get it cut, £24. So yeah, crazy prices. I replaced a bra that had a big hole down the side and the underwire was sticking out and poking in my underarm, which was very uncomfortable. I did try to sew it back in, but because the fabric had all frayed, it didn't last. So that went in the bin. Bought a new bra, £15. I replaced a pair of trousers. I'd had a nice pair of navy linen blend trousers that I like to wear in the summer. And one day, foolishly, I'd gone to work in them. Don't know why, but obviously it was a good idea at the time. Went to work in them, got them splashed with bleach. And so I got these horrible sort of pinky white marks down the leg. And probably to other people looking at them, they may have noticed, they may not have, I don't know. But every time I wore them, it bugged me. You know, it was like a beacon flashing on one leg, and that was driving me mad. Anyway, I went into a charity shop when I was buying my books and I found an identical pair in the same size for £6.99. So I bought those and threw the ones with the bleach marks out. So now I've got my nice trousers back that I can wear in the summer, and I'm quite happy with that. I bought some bedding plants for £9.97. So I bought some marigolds so that I've got some companion plants for my vegetables. And it also encourages the bees and the hoverflies and things like that. So I bought some of those. I just planted those today actually in my allotment. I bought 4 pairs of knickers or underwear if you're in the USA. So 5 pairs of knickers for £8. And they were in a sale at the shop because they had a 20% discount. And some of my pairs of knickers were looking like my pyjamas, very raggedy, and I thought it was time to replace them. Replacements are allowable. I only bought what I needed, so I'm happy with that. And the final thing I bought in May was a watering can for £5.99. I'd already got one watering can up at the allotment, but because I have to walk to tap to get the water, I was doing a lot of forward and backwards walking, slightly worried that I'd get one arm longer than the other because I was going to carry it on the same side. So I thought if I go and buy another watering can, I can half the walk to the tap and get the watering done more quickly. And, you know, it's quite good having a weight in both arms. It's good for your shoulders and it's a little bit of exercise, isn't it? Anyway, so I've got 2 watering cans now. Makes the job much quicker and much easier. So I'm happy with that. So that was it. That was my low spend in May. Possibly doesn't seem like a low spend, but a lot of them were necessary items for the allotment and also replacing pyjamas and underwear that had seen better days is an allowable expense in the rules that I've set for myself. So that's okay. Books, no, that wasn't on my buy list, but I bought them anyway. But, you know, life. So yeah, that was it. So I think it was a much better month than April, possibly even March. So I'm making progress. My budgeting still not balancing. I'm still going over on groceries and household, which either means I'm buying more than I need or my budget's not enough. I suspect the former, knowing me, after my little dopamine hits of buying. So yeah, something to work on. We've still got 7 months of the year to go. Plenty of time for me to change and adjust as I go along. So that's it. How's your May low spend going? How's May going for you in every part of your life? I hope it's going well. And that we're looking forward to now the first month of the summer or winter if you're in the southern hemisphere. So I will keep you updated with how it's going. I'll do a mid-month check-in and then again at the end of June I'll tell you what I've spent and what I haven't and how the month's gone. Thank you for spending time with me. I know your time's precious and the fact that you've watched my video is brilliant. Thank you so much for your support and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye for now.